Well, good morning, all of you. So, once again, we are on online classes. So, your subject is elements of cost and market analysis. Continuously, we are taking the classes without any delay and without any disturbance, without any stops. So, we are in the model number third. Yesterday, we are completed a problem on cost. This is the important, that is nothing but as a 20 marks or 15 marks questions it will come. That is already I have solved about the problematic. That also you have to go and you have to be trying yourself, because I have already given formula also on that. And again we will be solve so many problems and all this thing, but we have to complete about your syllabus. So we are on model number third. Today's main headline is that production functions. So under that, cost and cost concept, under that we are completed so many cost and all this thing. Already cost means that whatever you are spending money for the making of production, or you are sending material from the production point to the consumer point, whatever expenses it will be incurred, that is all is nothing but as a cost. When a businessman or a manufacturer, so they have to be reduce the cost, then only they will make a maximum profit. If you want to make maximum profit, you have to reduce your cost and make in that you have to be your product will be with good quality also. Well, this is called as a cost, and again we have to be more about that production functions. What is the production functions? We have to know about that. Production functions means is that this is nothing but a status. It is a state that is a relationship in between input and output. That is called as a production function. Production functions means that it will showing the relationship in between the input and output. First of all, you have to know about that. What is the input? When you are making a product in the production level or in the production department, whatever raw material you are using for making of a product, all is nothing but as a input. That is called as a input. Input means that whatever material you are using for making of a product, it is called as a input. When you have to finish the product and complete that product, the product will come out, that is called as a output. So means that the relationship in input and output, it is called as a production function. Here they are written. Production function is the relationship between input and the output. That is the amount of output that can be produced with a given quantity of input under a given technical knowledge. It is called as a production function. So you already know about that. What is the production function? Production function is the showing the relationship between the input and output. And second, whatever material you are taking or you are using at the time of production, in that material you have to be maximum, you have to be production on that, and fully you have to utilize that resources. It is called as a production function. Whatever material the company will be give in the production department, fully that material you have to be used, and maximum production you have to be achieved and make a output increase. So input whatever you are receiving, in that you have to maximum make a output. Means that whatever you are using material, suppose 100 product you want to be manufacture, so you have to manufacture not 100, more than 100 you have to manufacture. Output it will be increased. That is the profit for you. With that good quality, you have to use technical knowledge. You have to use your technical knowledge and make maximum utilization of resources. Whatever they are given resources, in that you have to maximum production and make an output increase. Then only it is called as a production function. That is why the relationship in between between the input and output they are showing. That is called as a production functions. Input is nothing but whatever you are using before the production for the making of production, that is called the input, and when the product will come out with the complete, that is called as a output. So the main production department or a manufacturer, what they are doing, whatever material they are given in the hands of the production department, maximum they have to utilize, in that best quality they have to output, and they have to make maximum production with the using of technical knowledge. It is called as a production functions. Then we'll move to that is a next we have to go, what are the factors of production? Production function is the difference, and what are the product factors of production? Factors of production, there are a three, that is nothing but as a land, labor, capital. So what are those factors of production is nothing but as a, there are a three, that is a land, labor, capital. So there are three main factors. Without these factors you can't make production. So land you want to be necessary for the making of factory. You want to make a shed, and you have to establish your machineries. You have to put raw materials, dump your raw materials, you have to make a stock, everything you want to need the land. So land is nothing but as a natural resources. That also, oil also is natural resources, water also natural resources. These are you want to be. This is nothing but as a one of factors of production. Without this you can't start your factory also, you can't stay also. That is why land is the most important factor for the starting of your business, starting of your production. That is the most important thing. They are given the land. Land is the physical space and the natural resources in its water, air and timber, oil. So these are all it will be giving in the natural resources. For that purpose, physical space, it is a very necessary for making of a business. That is called as a land is one of the most important factor for the making of production. That is the first factor of production. Second, labor. Labor is nothing but whatever resources you are getting, that it will be transferred or it will be converted into be a goods and services. For that, labor and human resources is necessary. So whatever the raw material it comes in the hands, that raw material they are to convert it or transfer into input into the output or in the goods or services. Here they are written labor, the people able to transform resources into goods and services available. Without the human resources, without the labor, you can't transfer your resources into goods and services. They are the main important people. Those they have to transform their goods and services. That is a important factors of production. The people will be transferring or it will be converted into the input into output by the people only. That is why that is the most important. Second important factors is that is a land. And then next we have to move about that. Also is that nothing but as a land, labor, and also one more is important capital is that it is nothing but as a, as per my knowledge, it is nothing but as a capital. Capital also a important factors. Capital also is a very important factors in the production. So that is nothing but as, without the capital, that is nothing but as a blood for the business. Finance is the most important. Without the finance, you can't purchase the raw material. You can't take the labors because we have to pay the salary, wages and all this thing. That is why for that purposes we want to pay capital. We want to process our production. We want to need for everything. We want to pay capital, fund, finance. So that is why this also is one of the factors of production. That is nothing but as a land, labor, capital. That is important. Capital also is the moving of your production or continue process. It is the possibility of because of the capital. Capital it will buy your raw material, your machineries, labors, everything. It will be whatever you want in needs in the production. You will be get because of this capital. And then last one is nothing but as a entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs is nothing but as a, they are the business people. They are the person who is taking a risk, invent, and they have to be make as a, they have the quality of risk taking or innovator, or it will be a taking a, is a own boss. That is why the idea, everything it will be used in the business, the idea and motivate for creating availability of goods for people buy. So these entrepreneurs people, what they are doing, they have to create the idea, they are pushing the peoples, or they have to be inspiring the customer through the motivation, and they have to be forcing internally, they have to buy the product from the factories. So this also is the most important factor for the production factors is an entrepreneur is nothing but a person who is always taking a risk, innovating, and they have to assembling all factors and all these things, and they have to make a new ideas. Through that, they have to motivate the buyers, they have to induce to buy the product of the company. That is also very important. So means that in business, land is the most important for the production. Labor also it will be very connected to the production, and the capital also is the most important, that is blood for the business, and entrepreneurs for moving of the product from the point of the production to the consumption point. So these are all nothing but as a factors of a production. And what is the production function? Production functions, it will showing the relationship between the inputs and the output. Then third one, we have to know about that. What is the characteristics? What type of characteristics it will play by a production? Production, it will be characteristic is nothing but as a characteristics of production. Characteristics of production is nothing but as a the machine for process. So main production under that there are a machines for processing continuously. It is a processing. It will be available in the production. That is the most important thing in the characteristics of the characteristics of production. Under the production, machine is the important equipment. It will be continuous processing for the production. That is the one characteristic. Second characteristic, it will flow from one point to the another. So in production, it will be completing from in one point, and again it will be sending to the another point. That is, it will be characteristics of a production. So suppose after the production, your material will be sending from the production point to the consumption point. So one point to another point, it will be transferring under the production processes. Then that is called as a flow from one point to the another. Then third one, it is a standardized. A production, it will be must be and should, it will be standardized. Then only the production will come out, and output it will be quality, and the people will buy your product. That is why standard is the most important thing in the production. That is the most important thing. Character. So characteristic is that it is the duty of the manufacturer to standardize his product and flow the product from the one point to another. And the main, they have to use machining, continue process and all the same. Then fourth one, production done as per the demand. Production, it will be started. Whatever the demands, it will come from the market. As per the demand, they have to start the manufacturing, and they have to make a process of production. That also be very important. And production usually be high. Otherwise, it will be high. So next character, the last characteristic of production is that production always it will be high. Because if you have to be low production, that will be cost will be more and profit will be less. That is why every company what they are doing, they have to be starting the production will be high, and they have to kept in the inventory or the stock, and whenever the demand will come, they will be sent out. That is why production always it will be high. That is the characteristic. So what are the characteristics of production? So production characteristic, the machine always they have to make a processing, and the product it will be flow from one point to the another, and the product it will be always standardized, and the production then as per the demand of the customer or the demand of the market, and usually the production it will be high. So totally today we have to discuss about the three. What is the production function relationship in between the input and output, factors of production, land, labor, entrepreneurship, and capital. These are the four factors of production. And what are the characteristics of production is that the machinery, the flow of one point to another, standardized production done as per the demand, and the production usually high. These are all about today's discussion, and you have to make practice of the cost problematic, whatever yesterday we are discussed, and we are already calculating on the blackboard and all this thing, and you have to make a practice and all this thing. Okay, tomorrow we will be continued. So until that, you have to be take care. Thank you.